One does not simply build an outdoor tortoise enclosure. Oh no, there is a lot of planning, planting, digging, and just good old frolicking about in the mud to get a beautiful outdoor enclosure ready for your tortoises. So join the safari and let's see how we transformed our new back garden into an outdoor enclosure for our Horsefield's tortoises. So first, we had to evaluate where we were going to put the enclosure in our garden. We figured in this corner would be best, and well, that meant having to get rid of this trellis with all the growth on it, which proved to probably be the most tricky aspect of it all. It was really important that we gave the tortoises the best place for sun with the most space possible while still having a garden for ourselves. So we decided to get rid of it. And, well, it was worth it in the end. Check it out. It certainly opened up the garden a lot more. The next step was then to see what space we had to play with and how we wanted to divide it out. And, well, begin the digging process, as the Russian tortoise loves to dig, so we wanted to make sure we gave them plenty of opportunities to be able to display this natural behavior. And that meant we too had to do a lot of digging to put down underwire to make sure they were safe. In fact, we even had some help doing some digging. Thanks, Peter and Tamatoa. While putting underwire down as a preventative measure is great and definitely recommended, we also make sure our tortoises are microchipped, just in case. On top of putting underwire at the bottom of the enclosure, we also wanted to do a bit of landscaping with the plants as well, so we cleared the ones you see here. This led to the enclosure looking like this. We used brick to fill in the gaps that you saw the boys helping us dig up, and a lot of extra topsoil. We then decided to divide the enclosure into 3 parts. Again, we wanted to take into factor the sunlight, where the sun would hit the enclosure, the size of the tortoises, as we have one bigger tortoise named Pepper, give her a bit more space, and so we played around with where the bricks would go to divide the enclosure before finally settling on the design you will see later on. We first thought, maybe try this out. But then, after careful consideration at looking at the sun and realizing just how much space each tortoise would have, we came up with something better. That would allow us to make the enclosure even bigger if we wanted to, say, let Pepper walk around on her own for a bit. So here it is, with the bit of landscaping as well. As we love to recycle and love a garden center, we recycled an old plant pot, which you can see here with Texas, burying it halfway underground and putting some soil on top, so in case he needed some shade to chill out in, there he goes. We were very selective with what plants we put in the tortoises' enclosures. We wanted to be both practical and aesthetically pleasing, so we went for the sedum and the blue fescue, which you can see here with Texas. Speaking of plants, you can probably see a Mediterranean theme as we have an olive plant as well as lavender over here in Utah's enclosure. Again, we use the recycled plant pot on the right-hand side to allow him to have some shade should he wish, but also a rock as well because they are surprisingly good climbers. Well, that's where they're found in the wild. They are found throughout Central Asia in both dry hillside slopes, and so need to be able to climb, as well as even places like the desert. So thus, they need to be able to dig, which is why we spent so much time digging up the enclosure for them to then be able to dig. We wanted to make sure this enclosure was versatile, hence the tile slabs at the back. Those can be removed to be able to give a tortoise access to another enclosure. We also wanted our outdoor tortoise enclosure to be practical, hence the variety of edible plants like the sedums planted alongside the enclosures for ease of feeding them. So when I'm out in the garden with them, I can just go grab a bit of sedum and pop it in the enclosure. Oh look, here's Pepper. You can see there's also plenty of dandelions around Pepper, and that's because, well, it's her favorite food. Looks like she's taking a snooze after having quite a few of them earlier today. Oh look, Utah's showing off his climbing skills. It's so much fun being able to spend time outdoors with both the tortoises and the cats, catching some vitamin D. Oh, look at him go! So what do you think of the tortoise enclosure? Pretty epic, right? I think they are definitely enjoying their time outside, burrowing, exploring, and climbing around. If you enjoyed this video, why not leave a thumbs up? And then head on over to my video here to see what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would eat in real life to celebrate World Turtle Day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.